Police procedures, excessive force, and the prosecution of these cases are topics we've seen discussed at length in the Derek Chauvin murder trial. Our next guest has firsthand experience with all of these. He was a victim of it and later became an officer, a prosecutor, and then a civil rights attorney. Now he's running for Congress in New Jersey. Tim Alexander, welcome to BNC, and thank you for being with us this morning, and thank you for being on the show. Interesting story, a unique perspective. Before you became a politician, a DA, a cop, you were actually a victim, so to speak, of police violence in a sense, even though you weren't hit. Take us back to that time, 1985. You're in Newark, you're driving right after your father, who died of cancer, his funeral. What happened?
Well, it was actually before his funeral. We were planning it, and he had died the day before. Mm-hmm. I dropped off my grandparents, and as I was walking across the street in their neighborhood to my car, I saw three guys coming up in an old beat-up Chevy Nova, and it's Newark. It's a pretty rough neighborhood. So nevertheless, I got in the car. I really wasn't paying too much attention to them until they were alongside of me and had me partially blocked in. When these guys got out of the car and one of them had a gun, I knew that I was probably going to get carjacked, so I decided to back away from them. As I was backing up, the guy closest to me shot. The bullet went right past me into the compartment of the car, into the rear seat, at which point I gave up. I got out, said the wallet's in the car, threw the keys in, and I started walking back to my grandparents' home when one of them grabbed me and said, "We're taking you too." We fought. They beat me up pretty good, got me in that car, and I was trying, again, not knowing they were cops, never said they were cops, certainly didn't look like any police officers I've ever seen. I was thinking I was being kidnapped, and I was telling them, "We don't have any money. You guys get the wrong guy." They didn't want to hear anything, just kept telling me to shut up. Finally, when they got me to the station, I was able to talk to a supervisor who was willing enough to make a phone call and verify that I was just in the police academy. And he says, "Yeah, we're really sorry this happened. Mistaken identity, but we got to charge you because we discharged a firearm." And they charged me with 3 counts of aggravated assault on them. So with the help of my grandfather, I got an attorney, and I fought and I cleared my name. And then I became a police officer again with the encouragement of my grandfather.
So, Tim, and you and I talked the other night, so it's good to see you again. It sounds like you were kidnapped. You were kidnapped. You were hit with trumped up charges like a lot of other black and brown people in America today. You fought, probably spent a lot of money thanks to your grandfather, and yet you decided to join them. What made you join law enforcement after that?
So I was on a path to become a police officer before that incident happened. But after it happened, I was done. I was just totally done with the idea of being a police officer. And it was my grandfather who said that, "Hey, you're way better than these men will ever be. They could never hope to be the person that you're going to be. If you want to be a police officer, be a police officer, be better than what they were." And I did. I listened to him and I did. And here's a remarkable man who just lost his son and nearly lost his grandson. The strength that he had and was able to give a little bit to me was the reason why I became a police officer.
So when you see what's going on with the Dante Wright situation, obviously the George Floyd situation, and so many different incidents around the country, what is your perspective? Because you've been the victim. You've also been a police officer and the prosecutor who's had to prosecute some of these cases. So what perspective do you take? Do you look at all three of them? Do you have a feeling for all three and have a sense of what all three of the people involved are going through? What is your take?
So obviously every time I see an incident like that, I flash back to my own experience where, I recognize I'm one of the lucky ones that I lived. George Floyd didn't make it. Mr. Wright didn't make it. Mr. Grant, Oscar Grant, 2009 in Oakland, California, he didn't make it. And incidentally, that was another incident where the officer thought he was going for his taser. He was also to be charged with involuntary manslaughter. We have Mr. Crawford in Ohio, who was buying a BB gun in the store. He was in the store making a purchase. Officers, black man, gun in hand, shot and killed him. No one was charged. And then we look at Tamir Rice, a young child with a toy gun. He was black, qualified for shooting. The issue is, for me, that police training has to be blown up. The problem we have is that police officers, yes, you want to be safe. And let me just qualify by saying the vast majority of police officers are good, honorable men and women. And they want to be safe and they want to go home to their families. But when your safety, your desire for your safety overrides the desire to keep the people you're supposed to protect safe, then you have instances like this, where simple interaction, because someone isn't reacting or listening to the commands that you think you're lawfully giving, you get emotionally hijacked and you lose perspective. The question is, how can someone grab a firearm believing it's a taser? Well, when you think about when you're emotionally hijacked, and I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist, but from my training, becoming emotionally hijacked is when you make mistakes. Is when, if you think about arguments you have with people, when you're so emotional that you just repeat the same thing over and over and over again because you're locked in. That can't be in law enforcement. Officers have to have the training, the wherewithal to say, I'm too far involved and invested in this. Let me take a step back. Let me bring this down, de-escalate the situation, and talk our way through this. They knew who Mr. Wright was. They knew where he lived. If he got back in the car, he won the battle. You take it to his house and you get him in custody for the misdemeanor warrant, and you proceed that way. You don't have to win it right there on the spot, and that's the problem.
Yeah, Tim, and you and I talked about this last week, and I pushed back a little bit, but you've said a lot there that we just have to go through. You talked about training. I'll ask you again what I asked you the other night. Is it training or is it empathy for people who don't look like you? If you approach every black and brown person as if they are a threat, is that what you call emotional hijacking, or is it something else? How do we prevent these people from being on the force in the first place? And I apologize, it's a compound question, because you also said the vast number of police officers, paraphrasing, don't know if I got the words just right, are good people. And I think what many people at home want to know is, if they're good people, and so many, overwhelming, are good police officers, why do we have so many bad ones there? Why don't the good ones slap the cuffs on the other criminals in uniform? Why don't they do that?
I don't think there's a better question. That's exactly the question. So let me break it down a little bit. First, with the training ideas that I have, it starts before you become a police officer. Before you become a police officer, you have to commit to the community you want to serve. 1 year community service in that community. Why? Because as I recognize that the majority of law enforcement are good and honorable people, they don't always look like the people they're serving. And they need to understand the culture, they need to understand the community before they're given the power to take people's lives. We need to make sure that they understand de-escalation. When someone's talking to them, it may not be a way that they're accustomed to, but it may not be any disrespect intended. It's just different cultures. And if you don't understand that, if you don't know that, how then are you going to serve? And that's one of the biggest problems we have. Then we go into one of the points you brought up, and to me that would be just the best, right? That you and I are police officers, and during an arrest, I do something, I make a clear violation. After that situation's resolved, you then turn to me and you say, now you're under arrest. Then we have arrived, and our law enforcement is working the way it should be working, because no one gets a bye. We have to root out that dysfunctional norm that when other officers see, the good officers, the ones I'm talking about, see the very small percentage of misbehaving officers do what they do, that they immediately report it or arrest them. If they're breaking the law, you're empowered to make an arrest. Arrest them. Right. Take them off the street.
That's their job.
There's certain charges that you need official permission to charge, at least in New Jersey's jurisdiction. But the crime itself, you can always charge. So if someone assaults another person, arrest them. That's your job. You're under arrest. And you know what? Battle it out if you have to, because we can't tolerate this anymore. We cannot tolerate this anymore. It's long past due, decades past due, and here we are still dealing with it.
Yeah, I think Mike said it at the top. You have such a unique perspective, having a life story that has all of these arcs and experiences. We appreciate you, Tim Alexander. Don't know if I can keep calling people good cops, right? They may be conflicted if they watch criminal behavior, bad behavior, and don't step in. I understand it might be difficult, but that's really where we are. But I appreciate you
and
so much.
And if I can add just one thing to that. Sure.
Yeah, quick, go ahead.
Real quick, I was a captain. I retired captain of all criminal investigations. And every week I met with my lieutenants and my sergeants. Truth, we had less than 1% of problems, but that was all our attention was on those problems. If you have a will and a desire to root out your problems, you can and you will. I'm telling you from experience.
Amen. I believe that. Now I believe that. That's the perfect way to end this thing. Tim Alexander, thank you. I have a feeling you'll be back with us. Start your days right back.
Thank you.